back to Greenlands, and we're back after having fixed the save and the mod conflicts issues. If you didn't watch those videos, then yeah, the animal food system caused a mod conflict with Follow Me that meant the game crashed lots. If you didn't watch those videos, why haven't you watched those videos? So we are restarting pretty much where that left off. In fact, probably before that, where that left off, and getting courseplay going with the Deutz, which has got the least Kubota mowers on it and got the Fendt running with the least Kubota fast bale. So something that did happen, and I think that may be that a mod that I took out or something where I went back several versions on the save. So if you watched the last video, I have gone back I restored the save to the point before it broke, and we've got all the kit back, so we're in a pretty good position. I sorted out the fastening, so that works now. The only thing that I haven't done is the bale wrapper. That is still the original that I had, so it will only do up to 220 centimeter bales. So one of the first things you're going to see me do is change the bale size to 220 centimeters so that we can wrap these bales without me having to go in and edit things. And I'm going to use F12 to empty the baler so that we should get the right size bale out first. And yet today we are just going to crack on with mowing and baling everything. It is a heck of a lot of bales. If you're on Discord, you will have seen after I filmed this just how many bales it is. So we're going to get Follow Me going. What I found, and if you use Follow Me, you probably know, the window where it's waiting to engage the worker, if you hit Control F again, you can pick a different vehicle for it to follow. And we have no lure error now, so we are good. So yeah, that's quite a nice feature. You can pick which vehicle it follows. Yeah, we just have a heck of a lot of grass to mow now. One really cool thing we have managed to sort is, I spoke in the last video about buying some mature cows to up the size of our milking herd, and a farmer in the Midlands goes by the name of Car something. He was selling off some slightly undernourished Holstein Brown Swiss, I believe. So we're going to be buying a couple of trailer loads off of him to take our herd up to 320 milking cows, which is going to be a lot of fun. So they are on their way. We need to make a payment for them, obviously, and they'll probably appear in the next video, I think. So yeah, that seemed like a good way to sort out procuring our older cows that we wanted. The other thing that I have decided to do is I think we're going to build ourselves a big chicken farm over here. So we've got some productions up by the BGA, and I'm not sure whether they're at the point we can demolish them yet. I was just waiting for them to process everything because we got really heavy into productions at the start and kind of got a bit bored / overwhelmed with them. So have sold a bunch of them. We had a sugar mill up there which we got rid of. We've got dairy there which we'll probably get rid of once it's finished processing. We've got the oil factory, whatever it's called. If not, I'm just going to create an area. We've got so much land up here, and if you watched my tour of the Oaks, on there he has the 4 big chicken sheds. I want to do something similar on here. We're going to go and use the farm supply pack so that we can get good value food at an appropriate price so we can make a profit. And yeah, I don't know how many I'm going to get or how many sheds we're going to put in. It will depend on what I can afford. We do have a lot of milk stored up, but we do need to buy more cows. But I think the aim will be to go for about that same kind of 4 big sheds, so sort of 6,000 chickens. Probably going to add in universal auto load so that we can more easily auto load all the eggs they're going to produce, because it's going to be a lot. And yeah, I think I've not really done much with chickens with Maize Plus, I think. No, and I've not really done much with chickens in FS22 at all. saying that, I've got them on furling. Actually, let's say thank you to the patrons and the YouTube channel members at this point. Appreciate you guys supporting the channel. Yeah, I've got chickens on furling with Maize Plus, but much smaller scale. So on here, we're going to go big because we're doing everything at a large scale. And I think it will be another cool way of making some cash. Probably what I'll do is get a cheap... I'm sorry, I was trying to avoid it. Silo down here to store the food in, and we'll just do a big run with the farm supply pack, get a load of food in and do it that way. And that's the plan. If you may remember, we had issues with the maize silage bunker silos down here, and I closed the one that got stuck, and so we'll be able to reopen that in the future. That's that's generally how you deal with that. Just a case of going into the XML and resetting things, and if the other one gets stuck, we'll do the same. You can see that the mowers in the main field are going much quicker than the baler. That is a reoccurring thing through this job, and I end up stopping the mower for a bit and letting the baler catch up. It never really does. I know the fast bale is in reality much faster. I find in game it's not. It may just be a limitation of baler wrappers. In this one, I've had to slow this one. You see me doing 8 miles an hour, and that's just so that the wrapper can keep up, so that we don't miss too many bales. You'll see there are some missed bales, and I do have to go around at the end and wrap the missed ones, but there aren't that many, so it does a pretty good job. It's just a case of being a little bit patient as we go through this big job. You can see these are the productions, so the sugar mill is in fact still there. I thought I'd got rid of it. Maybe I couldn't get a good price for it. Maybe now what we should do is swap it for the Just Add Adam with byproducts. Well, I've got that on Attingham. I think I'm probably just going to get rid of it, or just hang on to it as it is. But we've got so much space now, we could easily just run another strip of concrete along from where the bunker silos are and put some chicken sheds in. And it just add another element to the game that I haven't done. And on here, we're all about trying to make lots of money quickly, and I think lots of chickens will produce lots of eggs, which will start to make us lots of money. And I don't know what the ingredients are. We've got eggs, we can make sugar, we've got milk. How far are we away from making cakes or something like that? We probably need flour. We don't have a flour mill. So I don't want to get that stuck into productions again. It got a bit of a chore because there were so many and the scale I was doing them on. So one thing I do want to do once these have grown a bit is get rid of all these trees that I planted. I didn't intend to mow this area when I planted them, so they're kind of scattered all around, and they're a bit of a pain. So I think what I'll do is, once they're cuttable, we'll plant like a double row along the edge to help with the boundary. Well, there's quite a lot of trees there anyway, and then we're just going to chop everything down, because that will make this job so much easier, and up what we can cut, because I end up leaving quite a lot to save weaving through the trees, and we'll make some cash off it. We'll sell the trees. Hey, we could use some of the stuff from the Platinum DLC. I originally planted them to feed the biomass heater that we have on the farm, but I'm going to get rid of that once it's used up the wood chips that we have, because it's kind of meh. The 8RX is about out of fuel, so come over to grab the fuel trailer. This is left over here from when we were doing the big maize silage on here, when we had to refuel everything a lot. And it's a similar thing on here. I think the 8RX has to be refueled, the Deutz has to be refueled, and I'm not sure what else. And we need to get some methane to put in this T6. I think we've got some back at the yard, but I'm not sure. If not, we'll just have to throw some manure through the BGA and generate some methane to refuel this. So this is a tractor that I edited. It's based on the base game T6, but swapped over to run on methane, and I think is available on my Discord. So yeah, you can see here we've got random piles of unwrapped bales, which I'll just get to at the end. One thing that kind of hampered that is whenever the worker stopped, when it would throw all the bales out the back, and that would give a kind of a lump of too many for the wrapper to deal with, unless I waited, which I could have done. But you know, I actually managed to do this session of the 2 sets going at once in one sitting. So we do get a count at the end of just how many bales there are. It's a lot. It's really a lot. I think probably I'm going to store them down here. We'll just stack them up. Going to get a big trailer, and with universal auto load we'll just stack them somewhere. That means that we shouldn't have any problems with lag around the farm. I didn't actually notice any with this, even with so many bales on the ground. It all seemed to stay performing just fine, which was kind of nice. I have not tried this before, so I have cut and baled this bit several times. I'm trying to. I might have mown the main field before we ploughed it in. Don't remember. But we then did the massive maize harvest and got like 5 million litres of maize silage off it. So, but we need a lot because we've got a lot of cows and we're going to have even more. So yeah, that's everything done that I'm going to cut. You'll see there are some missed bits. It's good enough until we can tidy up these trees and make it a bit more organised. And in theory, if I cleared the trees out, I could plough it in and turn it into a field, but I can fertilise it anyway. I can lime it anyway, so I'm getting the same yield off it. It would just get rid of some of the bushes, I guess. So it would make it nicer grass, but I don't think it matters. This is probably, about to say it's probably going to the BGA, but actually it's probably going to be kept in case we need to feed those 320 cows we're going to have. So I might round it to 300. I might get a 60 rather than 80, just because it's a nicer number. So we have now lots of bales to just run around and grab. Just get the missed ones. The nice thing about doing the slightly smaller bale, downside is we've got a lot more bales. Plus side is keeps the custom wrap, which is kind of nice. Don't remember, this one may still have the custom wrapped bales over at the yard still, because I did go back to a save game backup, so that would be kind of nice. It's a little bit frustrating that we lost the colour that I picked, but it doesn't matter. It does not matter. But yeah, so I think, at least for an experiment to see how painful it is, we're going to stack them all up here somewhere. Now that has the benefit that if we do have an excess, we can feed them into the BGA and make some money off them, which is entirely possible. You might have just be able to spot in the top corner there, the Deutz is stopped so that the baler could catch up a bit. I didn't want it to be too far behind. You can actually see I was using the nitrogen map to see how much had been cut. And so far, 464 bales, but we have quite a lot to do still on the big mega field. I'm guessing we'll get a cut off of this in the spring before we plough it in for a crop. And we might have to do maize again for feed. If we don't do maize, I'm going to do soybeans for a cash crop. We'll see. Yeah, because there's a few bales. There are 4 headlands left, so I thought I would use a bit of follow me to grab some of them with the square baler. So we've already got a mix of round and square bales, so I thought that would help speed things up. We've got silage additive, so we're going to get a little bit more as well. The fast bale doesn't have silage additive, so that would be a cool addition. But this, because we've got the windrow, we can actually pick up 2 swaths at once, which is kind of cool. I skipped the first one because I figured that the worker on course plate would get to that before we finished. So it seemed sensible to let course play work on that, and we're just going to go need to find a speed that the wrapper can wrap while we pick up these 2 slots at once, so we're making bales pretty quickly. So there is that. We do need to allow for that. I'm really pleased I got this save back. Really pleased. And I'm really looking forward to the chicken idea. I think that's going to be kind of cool. I think that occurred to me when I was out in the car this morning. So yeah, looking forward to that. There was no multiplayer video this weekend. Not sure when I'm going to release this one. We had planned to record it on Friday. I then had to change my plans and do some real world stuff, so it didn't happen. Hopefully next week. We're having a hard time. Well, it's mostly me lately. Having a hard time fitting things in with everything that's going on in life. So Dad is still ill. Waiting for 2 doctor's appointments, one with a cardiologist, one with his GP for some test results. So hopefully there is something in there that shows up and that they can treat. So that would be cool. That will take away one source of stress. But yeah, I've been very stressed this week. Stress is maybe not the right word. Mental health has not been awesome. So yeah, I'm not great at talking about that in the open. Sometimes I talk about it to the patrons on some of those videos, but not so good in the open. But yeah, my mental health has not been great this week. So I just didn't get everything done in time and needed to help out around the house a bit when had planned to do the multiplayer video, so it didn't happen. That's how life is sometimes. Anyway, back to less sad stuff. I switched the Kubota and the Fenton the Kubota to the outside row because the inside headland has some weird bits where where Courseplay mowed into the headland on the up down rows. So the Kubota won't get those. I can because I've got the swathing baler, so that's why I moved it to the outside. I'm constantly checking the status because I was going to stop at 600 bales because I'd been playing for a while. But I decided to keep going, so we'll see where we get to. We have at least 600 now, yes. And most of the headlands still to a good chunk of the headlands still to go. I thought that was an impressive sight. So many bales. Some of them got nudged around a bit when the tractors were doing the headlands, but most of them are still lined up quite nicely. It's just nuts. Just so many bales. I don't think I've ever made this many bales. I'm pretty sure I didn't mow this when it was before we put the field in. I don't remember making this many bales. Stacking them is going to be... even with auto load, stacking them is going to be interesting. I'm going to get myself a big trailer that can hold a lot. Ideally something that can hold about 30 of either. But that's still going to be 20 plus loads of bales that I've got to stack somewhere. Probably in front of the bunkers here, on the area that's not actually field, but I still end up going, so I might as well turn it into field. But it's quite nice having that kind of grassy area there when this actually has crop in it, which it will come springtime. So I don't know. We might go maize again. Silage. We might do soybeans. We'll see. I think we'll probably end up doing maize because we probably need the feed, and if we don't need the feed, we can make a lot of money putting it through the BGAs that we've got. So you can see the fast bale has finished doing its job, so it's parked up, waiting, and we've just got a bit more to do, and we'll be done. I don't remember how long this took. I can probably see at the end actually, because I show the bale count at the end. There's just something about that site that I just love. So just on the very last bit now. Yeah. So we should now be back to 3 Let's Play series. Videoing a bit on each through the week. Plus Richlands. But that's a side project, plus Green Valley when we can do it. But yeah, I really want to get this series I want to complete this challenge. That's what I want to do. And we've got about 8 million to go, and we're a year in. So I think that's going to really ramp up, particularly if we increase the number of cows by 50%. So I think we're sitting on like 80,000 litres of milk at the moment from the last time that we sold milk. So yeah, almost done. It was 2.25 hours that it took me. So probably about 2.5 by the time I'd finished and faffed and stuff. Which is not awful, I guess. Without courseplay, it would have taken more than double that. There is definitely more in the big field than there is on the grass. I'm not sure if I just shoot it in there, but we got 2.87 million litres off of this 2 areas that we cut. That is going to go a long way to feeding our cows. I need to remember what the requirement is for the year. I think it's going to be 1.2 million a month. Something like that now. I'm not sure. I'll work it out next time. We'll work it out and we'll see where we are food-wise. I've got the stock check mod. I've got a copy of the updated version of that to check, to add in. So I'll add that in because that'll tell us what's in our silos and stuff as well. So I'll try and remember to do that next time. I do appreciate you sending that over. I just haven't got round to adding it in with all the issues that we've had this week and last week. This took me a week and a half to fix. It was not fun. Not fun at all. So we're pretty much done. Could run a little bit faster with just the one swath. That bale is the one bale that came out. It was the wrong size. And I kept trying to put it through the wrapper. It wouldn't go through because it's the wrong size. So we'll feed it to some animals. It'll be fine. But that is all the baling done. There's a lot of baling. Let's see how many we got. Hopefully I do that now. I might do it after we've finished wrapping. I can't remember. You will see I have super strength on. I was using a bit of super strength to manage getting bales out of the way of stuff, and tractors getting stuck with follow me. Yeah, one more bale to wrap. I did spot as I was going around there are a couple in the other bit that I missed. We'll isolate them out as we collect bales. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. So let's have a look. Maybe, yes, at how many bales we got in total. 647. Not quite 650. That would have been nice, but that's an insane amount of bales. Thanks for watching. Click the like button, comment, suggestions, questions below, and subscribe if you aren't, and I'll see you next time.